Hi everybody, Scott Eblin with this week's installment of the Video Book Club on the Next Level blog. Yesterday on the blog I was talking about a book that's out now called The Happiness Project. It's a bestseller, doing really well. It's by Gretchen Rubin. And I blogged a little bit about an article that was on Gretchen Rubin in the New York Times over the weekend and riffed on that a little bit with some other books that I've been reading. And while the topic of happiness was on my mind, I thought it would be a good topic for the Video Book Club this week. So I'm going to share with you one of my favorite books on happiness and developing a happy life. It's called Authentic Happiness. It's by Martin Seligman. Seligman is a professor of psychology at the University of Pennsylvania, and he is also the father or the grandfather, godfather if you will, of the positive psychology movement. And his great observation a number of years ago was that the study of psychology historically was focused on diseased people and trying to determine what would lead to a happy, functional life by studying diseased people. Seligman's great idea was, what if we studied highly functioning, healthy people who are happy and learned from them how to be happy and how to have a positive frame of mind. So the book summarizes a lot of that research. It came out in around 2002, and just a ton of great assessments, self-assessments in the book on your personal strengths and lots of other things related to happiness. And I'm sure you can find all that online these days by Googling Seligman and positive psychology. But the book also, I think, has a really great take on what happiness is and what it isn't. And I'll just read this brief excerpt to you from Chapter 7, Happiness in the Present Moment consists of very different states from happiness about the past and about the future, and embraces two very distinct kinds of things, pleasures and gratifications. The pleasures are delights that have clear sensory and strong emotional components, what philosophers call raw feels, ecstasy, thrills, delight, mirth, exuberance, and comfort. The gratifications are activities we very much like doing, but they are not necessarily accompanied by any raw feelings at all. Rather, the gratifications engage us fully. We become immersed and absorbed in them, and we lose self-consciousness. Enjoying a great conversation, rock climbing, reading a good book, dancing, and making a slam dunk are all examples of activities in which time stops for us, our skills match the challenge, and we are in touch with our strengths. I think that's a really great distinction between pleasures and gratifications. And a little bit later in that same chapter, he makes this point around kids who might be depressed and what the sources of depression are for kids. And I think this probably applies to adults as well as kids, right? Here then is a powerful antidote to the epidemic of depression in youth. First, strive for more gratifications while toning down the pursuit of pleasure. The pleasures come easily, and the gratifications which result from the exercise of personal strengths are hard won. And that really reminds me of one of the points that I made in the post about Gretchen Rubin's book. She talked in the New York Times article about interviewing Sandra Day O'Connor and asking she's still alive, the Supreme Court Justice, former Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, what her definition of happiness is, and her answer was worthwhile work, or words to that effect. And when you think about the difference between pleasures and gratifications, and the gratifications are hard won, I think that really is right in line with those the work that's worthwhile. So lots of great books out there on happiness, a lot of ways to look at it. I think Authentic Happiness is one of the best, and I encourage you, if you want to be happier and more effective in your life, to take a look at it. Have a great week.